All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you is how to elevate these contour lines. And if we look in 3D view here and I rotate on the side, I can see that my original ground contours are not at the proper elevation, right? Like I showed you before. If I pick this one, it's on the elevation of 6 something, right? Not even close to what they should be. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my layers and I'm gonna turn on this layer here which has those contours labels. So this is supposed to be 24, this is 23. Okay. Then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to turn off the contours and the stakeout, getting rid of my proposed and leaving my original. Now, I am going to then select all these contours and I'm going to change their elevation and flatten them, basically setting it to undefined elevation. By doing so, what it does is it lowers them all down, flattens them all out, and then it allows me to come over to my display options and change the zero elevation display options so that these contours display in a different color. So I'm just going to choose magenta. And now I'm going to use this tool called Contours by Label. I'm going to select all these lines and the label. And now you can see that it's going to select them all and it's going to join across the contour label. So in here, it'll join across these guys and connect these lines. So I'm going to click apply. I'm going to analyze all this. And now, if we take a look, anything that was elevated is now turned to its original color. So here's 25, here's 24. Notice that it did join that little gap, but it didn't join this one, right? But it did elevate it. If I look over here, I can see that this one did not get elevated, right? But it should be 24. So now I can just come in and I can start joining these contour lines. This one here is probably supposed to be 24. Same thing with that one, might be 23. So what I can do is now clean up the rest of these. So if I'll show you, if you come in here, like in this case, if I pick this 24 and I right click and I join and I pick that line there, it shows me there's a 2-foot gap. That's fine. You'll see that when I close this, that basically picked that up and assigned it the elevation of 24. So you can work your way around joining these lines. So it's about 5 feet, that's fine. So now I've got that one joined. So here I can pick this. Oops. Let me start, make sure I pick the baseline, being this one. And then I go ahead and pick that little gap there, that's fine. And then we'll pick that one. We've got that one joined. And if you want, you could pretty much just grab this and drag it up, or I think there's a real tiny little gap there. Yep. So I would just take this guy and just close him off. Okay, close enough. I mean, again, may not be worried about that. There may be areas where I'm not worried about it at all. So same thing here. I'm just going to pick this, right click and join. Just kind of cleaning this up. Little gap there, close that. We'll do the same thing. Pick this one. Yep, that was good. Then we'll come up, pick our baseline, pick this one, pick this one. We'll join that. Come over here, grab this baseline, and click there to join that one. And now we got majority of them done. A little one up here will do. Again, this is probably outside of our limits, so I don't really care because that's out in the road, which we're not changing anyways. And then the same thing with this one. If we turn back on our contours, we've got 25, I got 26. May have to turn on some other layers to determine what that is. You can see that they're all going to be magenta. All right, so if I come in here, yeah, it looks like it's in the sidewalk. So it's probably, let's see, 25, might be 24 if it's going down. So we'll have to figure that one out later. But what I've got is probably good enough to show you that what I'm trying to do here, right? So now I've got those contours. They're elevated properly. The ones that are still purple are not elevated, which again, I'm not concerned about because it's off my site. And I can just go ahead and delete those really altogether. But leaving one defined, they're not going to be used in my surface, so I can pretty much ignore them at this stage. But I'll leave them on that layer. I'll change my display option back to normal, and I'll deal with those at a later date. But that was really all I needed to do for this particular exercise.